Good afternoon and welcome to the Happy Half Hour. I'm Leigh Kubin.
I'm Sandra Priestley. Welcome to the podcast. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday.
I'm
What you drinking?
drinking. Well, okay. It's been 3,742 weeks that I've been drinking water on this
Oh, yes.
podcast. And now I'm drinking lemon water. Whoa, I'm really
Oh,
sitting out on it. But I have to say, I almost drank wine again.
yeah.
I I bought a new bottle of wine this week. Can't remember what it's called. And a new bottle of wine last week. Can't remember what it's called. And I think actually is Kim Crawford. And so I, with the intention to drink
Yeah.
wine, but then I have too much to do after. And
Oh, yeah. Yeah. When you got stuff to
come
do
on.
after, it's like,
Yeah.
it's the end of the day. It's the end of the day. Well, funny, I have some cucumber water, but
Mm.
now that you're talking about wine, I have an opened bottle of, I think, Josh,
Oh, yum.
that I
Maybe,
was gonna drink today.
maybe later. I always believe that when we set a goal, like if we have a goal, if we
Mhm.
have a dream, if we have a desire, it means
Yeah.
we have a capacity to achieve it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Period. That's it. And so where we are now and where the difference between where we are now and where we want to be, where that goal is the work that is reprogramming what's not working, like how it's the work to up level from where we are to
Yeah.
that place.
Yeah.
And what I find it fascinating that every time I set a new goal, something happens to shit on me. Like
Every time, but it's
something,
not shitting on you,
well,
but it feels
that's
like
the
it.
way you interpret it in the moment, right?
Yeah.
But what I believe it is the work from where I am to
Mhm.
where I want to be is in those little moments.
Yeah.
So if I want to be a massive success and I want to be, I don't know, $50,000 months, let's say, there is going to need to be some evolution for me
Yeah.
to get, because if I'm making $10,000 right now and then I want to make $50,000, I need to evolve to be the $50,000 person. And
Yeah.
the $50,000 person will probably have these situations that feel like they're shitting on me now. And
Mhm.
I'm going to need that $50,000 a month person is going to need to be able to handle those things. So it feels to me like the universe hands me gifts
Yeah.
and says, okay, stretch here,
Yeah.
work here. This is where I'm going to raise these things to you so that you can work through them, because this is where we're going. We're going to where you want to go, but you need to work on this stuff. So
Mhm.
you can choose to throw shit on your face or just go, oh, thank you for the gift.
Yeah. And it's always a gift. Now,
Always.
how we respond determines whether we go forward or backwards.
Yeah, exactly.
Because when we're feeling fearful, when we're feeling insecure, defeated, not enough,
Mhm.
we are then showing up like that in our day. And that is not how that person shows up.
Exactly. Well, even if you think of professional athletes or people, who have achieved greatness,
Mhm.
they haven't had it easy. We assume that they have, but they haven't had it easy. Most of, like, any of the stories that I listen, like NFL players,
Mhm.
man, they've had it rough.
Yeah.
They've had it rough. They've gone through some really nasty stuff. But the thing that they have is the grit to push through it. And so when they push through that stuff, because you can succumb to it too.
Yeah.
But then if you do, you're not going to get there.
Mhm.
So it's almost like, oh, I just read something. Actually, I think it's on my phone right now. This is freaky.
Oh,
There's no coincidence.
none.
So someone needs to hear this, or maybe it's me.
Maybe it's me.
Bigger dreams call for healthier habits, and healthier habits require more self-discipline.
Yeah.
And I also believe that bigger dreams requiring all that also have bigger stretchy moments.
Mm-hmm.
Like I really feel like there's stretchy moments when I look at my son and he has this big, huge goal. His life, he has had some weird things happen to him that I like,
Yeah.
some big challenges to overcome that the majority of people would not. But every single time one of those huge things happens to him, which he would say to him, I would say
Yeah.
for him. But anytime he has one of those huge things happens, I think to myself, big goals,
Yeah.
big dreams, bigness at
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
has big things to step over. Like it's a you can't live a big life and have small challenges. It just doesn't work. If
Mm-mm.
you think of Taylor Swift, I mean, hey,
Yeah.
the girl is on fire like I've never seen before. She could have crumbled when Scooter Braun took all of her music.
Yeah. Yeah. But what'd she do? Found a way around it
Yeah.
and almost relaunched herself,
Yeah.
because she re-recorded everything
Yeah.
and re-released it and then kind of reminded everybody who she was. And then that 10-minute version of that song, dear
Mhm.
God, it made me sob like a baby.
I know.
And look at where she is and what she's doing because
Mhm.
she didn't go, oh, well, they took all my music, so I guess I'm done. Let me go cry over here.
And what I mean, I did not think I was going to talk about Taylor Swift here. Have you ever seen her in concert?
Well, I mean, recorded concerts.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
We watched the Eras tour.
Okay, I have not seen that yet.
Mhm.
But Shay and my mom and I went to see her maybe 2017.
Okay.
And what I most love about her is when you just said, look at what she's shown people what she's capable of. What I love about her so much is that she shows everyone
Yeah.
what they're capable of. When she stands on stage, it's like a little mindset course you go through. Like
Yeah.
it's like constant affirmations of how powerful we are.
Yeah.
It's a movement. It's amazing.
And
But
then what she
yeah,
gives back and does
yeah,
for the
all the food
community.
banks and yeah,
Hmm.
I know it's amazing. I read that she gave out something like $174 million
Yeah.
in like extras, bonuses and things to all the people that were helping and I mean she's making, I don't even know how much she made on that
A
tour.
lot.
I didn't read, but like more than 174 million, let's
Yeah.
say. In order to get where she was, it wasn't just step on stage and everything was pretty and she had the perfect relationships and she had like no problems at all.
No. No.
She had big problems. They were public problems. She
Yeah.
had like a lot going on. She almost lost her everything. She
Mhm.
did from Scooter Braun, right? And so, I mean, it's how she emerged has made her who she is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we can't get to whatever goal we have if we don't work through the gifts that we're given.
Right.
But in the moment, they don't feel good.
In that moment, absolutely not. No, it can be scary in the moment.
What's
Yeah.
amazing though is that when you evolve to the place where you can recognize, oh, whoa, this does not feel good because I have been that girl years ago who didn't realize and who felt victim to what
Yes.
was happening
Yes.
to me. And,
Hmm.
so now I don't see it in that way.
Yeah.
And yeah.
But we also wouldn't have gotten to the place where we can recognize it
True.
if we hadn't been through it.
True.
Now, we can go through stuff and tell the story about how bad it is
Mm-hmm.
and stay there and then become paralyzed by fear. So,
Yeah.
not move in the direction the universe is calling us
Mm-hmm.
because, oh, this is not going to work because of out of fear.
Yeah.
But when we do that at that point, we stop growing.
Mm-hmm.
This is all that I'm capable of. This is it.
Yeah.
Just gonna stay here and wait to die. Or show the fuck up.
Mm-hmm. I also think that a lot of times when we have those
Mm.
stretchy moments, I've been working through with a few of my clients this week, and they're coming to me with this like, oh, they have this goal, they're stuck in this state, and everything is sort of going wrong, and they're just feeling like energetically like blah. But what I said to them is sometimes when these challenges come up, you don't always have to work through them. You don't always have to slog through the bog or whatever it's called. Like, you don't always have to dig and dig and dig and dig. Sometimes these things come up to go, whoa, wait a minute. Okay, this tells me that I'm not on the right path exactly. How can I see this differently?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, how can I see this differently? One of the things is it Mel Robbins? No, I got it from somewhere. I don't remember where. I think it
Okay.
might be Taylor Quinn. No, it was not. It was Michaela J. Okay, so she does this manifestation podcast. And so what she said was at every stage of your life,
Mhm.
when you hit a roadblock or like someone, some shitty thing,
Yeah.
you just have to know you'll figure it out. And when you say those words, those three words, I'll figure it out,
Yeah.
everything shifts.
Everything.
Because, so often it's like either we sit and go, fuck, why did this happen to me? And we dwell on that instead of going, okay, this is not ideal, but I can figure this out. I'll figure this out. I'll figure this out.
Yeah.
Because everything is figure outable.
Everything. A friend of mine has that sitting in her office.
Everything is figure outable.
Everything is figure outable. And
Yeah.
and we'll be talking sometimes and talking about something that's coming up. And we both will point to the sign and go,
Yeah.
there it is.
It's
Yeah.
true. And then I think sometimes we also sit and we think, like, client of mine today, she said, okay, I think that I'm ready to launch my business. Yay. I've been wanting it for 3 years for her, but I think I'm ready to launch my business, but I'm going to need this and I'm going to need that. And I'm going to need, and it's, she has a product. I'm going to
Okay.
need a website and I don't want to do this. And I don't think I'm going
Mm.
to be able to do Facebook. And I'm like, okay, like everything is figure outable. We'll figure that out when it's time to figure it out.
Yeah.
But right now, you just got to make the product. Like, we get so stuck in what if, what if, what if, what if, and like, what if it all works?
Yeah.
Instead of what if I can't, what if it won't work? It's just like, what if it will work?
Yeah.
Like, and so we just start and we'll figure it out when it comes. Yeah, I find it so interesting because a lot of times we spend so much time trying to figure out a future problem, but we can't figure out a
Inventing them.
future. Yeah. And we can't figure out a future problem with current circumstances.
Mhm.
It just
Yeah.
doesn't work.
Yeah. We're
So we
fine.
got to just, hey, figure out current problems with current circumstances and current resources. And then, like, if we have a future problem, it'll be in the future when it's current.
Yeah.
And it's always figure outable.
Yeah. Amen.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you had talked about a waterfall.
Yes.
So let's talk. I want to hear about this.
You're going to love this so much.
Okay.
I know. Okay. So one of the things along my feng shui journey, I think I talked about this before, but this is like an up level. So
Okay.
did I talk about before when I was working in the prison, and I always like, I like to ask people things. Like I'm really naturally curious.
Yeah.
And so there I was working with a guy who was a guard for like 30 years. And working in a prison is unique experience.
I bet.
It's quite negative, and it's not just the offenders, it's just not the inmates. We all become callous, suspicious, paranoid. It's a very strange, it's like a game of Survivor. That's how it feels.
Wow.
And so, yeah. Um, but you're relying on other people to keep you safe. And then you question, is like, should I be kind of thing, right? It's a very strange and very cool dynamic to work in a prison.
Yeah.
So I asked this guy, so you've been here for 30 years, what do you do? Like, how have you managed to make it through? And he said, I take off my coat before I go into my house. And I'm like, huh? Okay. And he said, just visualizing it. He might not be wearing a coat, but what he does is he imagines he's in the prison, and like everybody's stuff is kind of sticking to him, right? Like the
Yeah.
negativity and the energy and the stories and the people's energy. You pick them up. Like we
Yeah.
pick this up. And so he said what he does every day is he walks into his house, he goes up the steps, and before he touches the door, he visualizes himself taking off his jacket. And the jacket is all of the shit that he's picked up throughout the day.
Wow.
He visualizes him taking it off and leaving it outside on the doorstep, walks in the door. Now he's clear, his energy is clear to walk in the door, to go back to his family. He's not carrying all that stuff with him. When he goes out in the morning, he goes out the front door, he shuts the door, he picks up his energetic coat. And it's almost like it's not heavy like his stuff because it's been outside, it's clean now, but it's
Yeah.
like a protective layer. This coat, this energetic coat, protects him and himself, his energy, him from picking up everything else.
Yeah.
So I have always loved that story. It's one
And
of the
how
things
insightful.
never forgotten. How insightful, yes, for a
Wow.
man who was like, I mean, this was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So in the 2000s, and he was probably 60 at the time. Yeah, yeah. So then I came across this. I was doing meditate, working with Emily Aaron's meditations, and she talks about this energetic waterfall. Now she's a Reiki practitioner, so I think
Yeah.
it might be a Reiki thing,
Okay.
but I kind of shifted it to work for me. So one of the things that I love feng shui wise is to put a note under the front mat of my door that says something like all who enter shall be happy and blissful, or something, like everyone who walks in the door is,
Blessing.
yes, some sort of intention for everyone who walks through the door and over that mat.
Yeah.
And so I thought this is super interesting because I know that a lot of times we're in stressful situations and people come in and they don't have a great energy per se. And
Yeah.
then I feel that sticky energy in the house, and then I have to, you know, use the incense.
Yeah.
And not that I mean, I still use the incense, but this I love so much. So what I do is I create an energetic waterfall in my doorway. I visualize, because we know water is clearing
Yeah.
and it releases all of this like energy. But also, if you think about standing underneath a waterfall, like how, I don't know if you've ever stood underneath a waterfall, but I have. And it feels like, oh my gosh, it is so energizing. It is so clearing. It is just like, it's loud and it's fresh. And the air is the clearest, the cleanest I think I've ever smelled. underneath that waterfall. Like I can still smell the air.
Yeah.
And so, and I mean, I know that we get a lot of downloads in the shower when I think they say we are clearing our chakras or something. But so what I do is I set the intention that every single person that walks through that door walks through this energetic waterfall. I visualize that there is water coming from the top of the frame all the way down to the floor. Like I visualize a waterfall in that door, that
Oh,
front
wow.
door. And then I set the intention that every single person that comes through that door cannot walk through the door without all of the negativity being removed and replaced with positive, clear water energy.
Wow.
Right. And then when you do it, you can say like an affirmation like, I set this intention that this waterfall uses clear crystal water energy to release all negativity. And the only thing that will be replaced with is positive energy and happiness, joy, bliss, love. And so when you do that, it's like, I don't know, it just feels like it's setting this protective layer around your house
Mm.
and it's helping everyone that walks in the door.
Yeah. Because then they're able to release things.
Yeah.
But what popped into my head?
What?
I need to do that in my office.
Yes, I know. I know. How
And even,
powerful.
yeah, anybody that walks in,
Yes. Yes.
they won't know what happened, but they'll know that they feel different when they leave.
Right. And if you think in terms of feng shui and the way, so what Emily Aarons does is she creates this energetic waterfall.
Yeah.
But what she actually does, she lives on a farm. And so she has a pail, like a pail outside of her door,
Yeah.
not outside of the door.
Hmm.
And so she sets the intention that anything that is cleared away from those people goes into the pail. And so, right. And so then she can just like toss out the water or whatever. Like if there is happen to be water, I think she puts water in the pail actually. And then she'll toss out the water, which feels cool.
Yeah.
But she also said when the people come in, they're not bitchy, they're happy, and her space is
Yeah.
safe. When they leave, the pail there allows them to pick up their own shit if they want to. So it's almost
So they
like
can just pick it up, take it home with them if they
if
desire.
they're if that's their choice.
Yeah.
I mean, and so if you want them to be able to pick it up, okay. But I mean, I still do believe that I was talking to a healer and she said, I can heal people, I can heal addicts. But what's crazy is they have the choice to pick it up in an hour or in
Yeah.
5 minutes or whatever. So I sort of believe we always
Yeah.
have the choice to pick it up
Yeah.
somewhere else.
Yeah.
So I don't think I need to really have I'm not a big fan of a pail outside my door,
Correct.
but
They don't need that to pick it back up.
they don't need it to pick it back up.
Mm-mm.
Exactly. And maybe that's it might be a Reiki thing. I'm not sure. It might be an Emily Aarons thing.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that she's wrong. I just think it's
Yeah.
a different version. And so I choose to put the affirmation underneath my mat
Mm.
and I have the energetic waterfall. And it's just like, yeah, like no negativity is coming in. And I'm not joking. No negativity comes in. I mean, unless it's me or like someone, but like
Yeah.
no
But you come in
one
the
comes in.
garage.
Yeah, yeah, that's a problem. But it's predominantly, I mean, we're a happy household.
Yeah.
We don't have a lot of heavy shit that comes through the door. We just don't. And
Mm.
it's interesting because I noticed the difference in our house versus maybe someone else's house that feels that heaviness,
Yeah.
right? But I also work very hard to ensure that there is no heavy energy. I mean, like if I feel any heavy energy, like when we get on this podcast and it's like, fuck, I don't feel good, don't feel
Yeah,
like
we're
here,
running for our incense and
we're running for incense. We're going,
yeah.
shit, like I can't talk for love nor money. Let's just clear whatever I picked up. And I mean,
Yeah.
so, I mean, yes, I can pick stuff up too, but yeah, for the most part, by the time I walk through the
Yeah.
door, it's like, oh,
I am gonna start doing that.
mm-hmm.
Not just here, but being
No,
intentional.
yeah,
You walk in my office, you're leaving
yeah,
that shit at the door.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, if I even think like I said this before, but I'm pretty sure on this podcast, after I had my second child, I started at the gym and it was called the Girls Club. And so it was only women. And in this gym, they weighed us the first of every month
My
and
God.
yeah, weighed and measured. And so we had points that
Okay.
were just like your weight plus your inches were points. And then if you lost in this month, your name was up on the board. And I mean, I did have a baby, but I had a baby 6 months before, you know, it wasn't like I was
Yeah.
losing baby weight. Like it was, I was losing weight I'd kept. And so I lost the most amount. And um it was like an odd amount, like it was quite a bit, and I didn't have that much to lose. It didn't seem, but when you think 8 inches too. And so she asked me to work at the gym. She's like, everyone is already coming to you saying, how did you do this? What did you do? What did you eat? What was your plan? I created my own diet plan. And so I started working there. And what I noticed was the gym almost has that energetic waterfall just
Mm.
naturally in place. There is music all the time. It's uplifting music, not depressing.
Yeah.
And so it's uplifting music. You're getting the endorphins going. You're moving your body. You're moving energy through your body. If someone comes in pissed off, in 5 minutes, they're not pissed off.
Ah.
It was the
Or they're
happiest place
gone.
on earth, minus Disneyland.
Yeah.
Really?
Do you find that either they come in and they get happy or they leave?
Yes, but
Hmm.
I didn't see them leave.
Okay.
Like I never saw them leave.
So
But yes.
this sounds so interesting. It sounds like when I had employees, I used
Yes.
to write the notes and I would tape them like to the back of the desk that went up against the wall. But I would typically do them for troubled employees. And I would
Mhm.
write a beautiful letter about how amazing they were and all of the things that I wanted to see in them
Yes.
as if I was seeing it.
Right.
And the idea is they line up with it and become that version of themselves
Or they
or they
leave.
leave. And it
Yeah.
worked like a charm every single time.
And either way, it will work like a charm.
Yes.
Either they will level up and all of a sudden you don't have an issue, or they're not there. And it's not like you're wishing anything bad, you're wishing good.
No, yeah, I'm sending them,
But
but yeah,
what's true to me is that if I set that intention that negativity can't come in,
yeah,
someone that's negative will not stay
yeah. Won't be
because
comfortable.
they feel uncomfortable without it.
Yes. Yeah. That's their security they're having to let go of.
Yeah,
Love it. Well,
I
I'm going to try
know.
that. I'm going to try it here at the house and I'm going to try it in the office.
Uh-huh.
So I will let you know. But I think
Yeah,
on that note, we're out of time.
we are. Wow. Whoops. My story got a little too far off the track with Taylor Swift,
No,
but
all
still,
good.
it was fun.
Thank you so much, Sandra. And
Thank
thank
you.
you guys for joining us. We'll see you next Thursday on the Happy Half Hour. Bye.
Bye.